Andre today. We're jumping into Queen Charlotte. This is episode 3. Ooh, I like that. We have 3 more episodes to go, and then we're done with Bridgerton / Queen Charlotte. So I'm assuming that we're getting a season 3 of Bridgerton. I don't know when it's going to drop. I could look it up, but I don't feel like typing. I'm already in the zone of filming. But yes, I know we're gonna get a season 3. I'm sure you guys do know when season 3 or heard when season 3 will drop. If you guys do know, please comment down below. That would be amazing if you guys know the answer to this, because most likely I'll forget about this question. And I'm really looking forward to it. I really do enjoy this show. And the last time we obviously see the king has something. The king likes to be naked. That's one thing. And we don't mind. The actor has a very nice body. Shout out to him being naked. But besides that, on a serious note, the king has something wrong. I don't know what sickness he has, but he clearly has something going on. The queen discovered it, and it was a very touching moment when she went over there and covered him and called, it's like, I'm Venus, and Venus is going inside. Let's go inside. It was a very emotional moment. I love everything about this show. These actors, their energies, it seems, really does really well with each other. And that's what really makes me get into the show, on top of the damn music that always hits the points. Also, there's so much different underlying undertones of what they're trying to say in this show, and I find it very, very interesting. There was also one more thing that caught my eye that somebody commented. I don't know if it was the last reaction. I don't think so. I think it was the reaction before that. But they commented, I believe, when I was filming it, so I couldn't talk about it because I didn't know until after I was done watching that show, and it popped up on my phone. And somebody said, well, why did they cast a black person to play Queen Charlotte? Because Queen Charlotte was not black. And then they said something else. I don't remember exactly what they said. And that was a good question. You know what I mean? Like, why change that? Also, for some people, I do know when I watch, I get back into Vikings, Valhalla, which I think I'm going to film today, just because I'm a key. But Vikings Valhalla, people were really upset with. I know it's a completely different show. But Vikings Valhalla, people really were upset with because they did a lot of race bending, right? And they went up on a tangent. They were irritated. And I wonder if this turned people off as well by them race bending Queen Charlotte. I feel like I don't know much about Queen Charlotte. I'm going to be extremely blunt with you guys. For me, I didn't know, but for this, I didn't know that these characters were even real life. Like, I actually did not know that this was actually real. I thought that we were just getting into these stories and stuff like that. If you want me to be, now you guys can throw tomatoes at me. Ow! Ow! Yeah, so I'm assuming Queen Charlotte. I honestly, sometimes I'll be laying in bed and I'll look it up, right? So Queen Charlotte was a queen of the Great Britain and Ireland as the wife of King George III from their marriage on 8 September 1761 until her death in 1818. As George's wife, she was also Electress of Brunswick-Lumberg, I can't pronounce it, I butchered that word, sorry, until becoming the Queen of Hanover on October 12th, 1814. So she did have George V, Prince Edward, Duke of Kent, and something, and she had so she did have a lot of kids. She really did. She had a vast majority of kids. So and they are very white. They are white. These paintings, honey, they make sure to let you know they are white. But yeah, so that's a very interesting thought process. Like, or why did they race bend it? And the only thing I could think of is maybe they're trying to be more inclusive instead of exclusive. Maybe they're also trying to tell, like, expand, keep it like fictional, historical, but also try to maybe leave that and try to also entwine race into it as well. Once again, that was a question that made me start thinking. So if you guys know more about that, or if you guys thought that, like, well, why would they? You guys, that would be amazing to talk about down below. Anyways, I'm ready to jump into this. If you would like to see this for a full reaction, you guys can. On the second and third tier here on this platform, there will always copyright my as well as my other platform, Patreon. So once again, you want to see this in a full reaction before, you know, YouTube wants to block it. Please join one of those platforms today. Now, without further ado, let's jump into Queen Charlotte and find out exactly what Queen Charlotte has got to give. Oh, they're all...
It is just not usual.
Just pulled the king out of a hole in the vegetable garden where he was busy discoursing with the sky. Is that usual? What is this? What is happening? What has happened to my husband?
Mind of his own. Cuts his own trail now and then, but nothing better for driving a plough.
I'm used to the old ways. Oxen are so much more predictable.
When you see that 2 of these horses can accomplish in a day what took a team of oxen a week, you shall learn how easily old habits die.
It is the Dowager Princess. You are needed at the palace. I believe she has found you a bride.
So good of you to clean up for us.
I did not expect so much company. Let us get on with the thing, then.
The thing?
Enumerate the many meritorious qualities of some chosen noblewoman.
Commons.
You interrupted my mother. She was about to say that this lady's ancestors fought at Hastings, and I was going to say that I do not care for the harpsichord. You see, I can play both parts. Thank you for the cue. Now I ask, is that all a king is? A king rule in his own way through practical scientific study. Tell me, what would the people prefer? A royal baby or cheap bread?
Right now, they have neither. Now the American colonies threaten to withhold taxes and Parliament revolts. God knows you have had your obstacles, but we cannot brook obstacle. Sophia Charlotte of Mecklenburg-Strelitz.
A germ?
She is on a ship.
A ship?
The betrothal contracts are signed.
Storms over the North Sea this season. Matt's not your captain or your sextant. No longitude, no bride. She loses the moon and she is lost.
Withdraw. Withdraw!
It's lost, breakingless, land up.
The symptoms remain consistent with an inflamed cerebellum.
We tried your methods. They succeeded in nothing but driving the humour into his stomach.
We've entertained all your theories and their hideous treatments, and the king remains as before.
The king's condition is not merely physical, but nervous.
The king is declared insane. He loses the throne.
Not insane. Merely suffering a disorganization of the nerve. Dr. John Munro of the Bethlehem Hospital.
You mean Bedlam? The madhouse?
Proper doctors have failed me, so I have had to cast a wider net.
My methods do not require bleeding the patient or stinging him with poisoned beetle.
Are we to believe this malady can be cured with one's voice?
It depends on the voice. Remember yourself. You are the King of England. You have armies, navies at your command. You command an entire kingdom. You can command yourself too.
That's powerful.
You're to marry in a week. Are you fit to marry, George?
I am.
Do not gawk like a peasant. Behave as though you've been here before.
There is a problem.
What have you done now, Brimsley?
Bride is missing.
How did it happen?
What are you doing?
Disappearing, as evidently the bride has done.
If your bride is missing, it is your responsibility to remedy that.
Not ready, not right.
I have examined you thoroughly, and you are perfectly right.
Do I look perfectly right to you?
You are perfectly right.
Wait, no. He is right. I am right. I forgot myself. Thank you, Doctor. Hello, my lady. Are you in need of assistance of some kind?
surprise. Where are you taking me?
You will see. Just wait. I do not need to do anything. I decide. I have decided I am your king!
My mistake. I thought you were just George.
The King's at Buckingham House.
His Majesty is back here, now.
Observatory now. Just you.
Does your Majesty not find the Queen attractive?
I did not know a woman could be so beautiful.
Perhaps is she dull?
Perfection is matched only by my deformity. She belongs as far from me as she can get. Shall return to my planets, my stars. They at least I can be sure not to harm.
Ready the carriage.
May I say our destination?
We are going to see my husband.
The Queen is coming.
What? Why was I not informed?
No one was informed, Your Majesty. She just appeared.
Oh, wow.
Where is he?
Your Majesty, we were not expecting...
Where is he? What is this place?
Charlotte. Oh, hello.
Will he be cross with her?
Absolutely. But she is standing up to him.
7 and 10 years old, and suddenly I am queen. You do not understand, because this is who you were born to be. I cannot make friends. I must hold myself apart. I'm completely alone, and you prefer the sky to me.
I do not want to fight with you.
I want to fight with you. Fight with me. Fight for me.
Go home! Charlotte! Doctor, thank you for coming so quickly.
Of course, Your Majesty.
Well, there are a few advantages to being monarch. One of them is you get the best stuff. I have learned a thing or two about science, and one thing I have learned is this. Scientists keep the best of it to themselves. Am I right, Monroe? Say a doctor is brought in to treat a king. He would employ only his safest, his most proven treatment, ping the cutting edge of his methods to himself. If the Queen were to ever see me like that, if she were to flee from me, God forbid, if I were to hurt her, surely there must be something that you can do.
I have been experimenting with something more proactive. I would require rooms in the palace, full access to Your Majesty at any time, license to pursue more extreme measures.
Anything.
The problem in your case is clear. You are king. As such, you are used to the obedience of others. You have not learned to obey. We require solitude. You are dismissed. You are used to splendor, luxury. You have never known the salubrious powers of Spartan habit, simple ways. Above all, you have never learned to submit. Unbound, it tests the limits of reason. That is the origin of your fits. This is the cure. Submission. If you cannot govern yourself, you're not fit to govern others. I shall govern you. Do you understand me, boy? And here you are just another animal in a cage. And just like an animal, I will break you!
Oh my God!
Doctor! 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 We have been at this for days. How much longer?
As long as it takes to achieve our goal, that was our agreement.
Is a broken king really better than a mad one?
The wolves of the German Black Forest were famous. They ran off with children, the old.
That little dog?
Where are those wolves now? Only in legends, fairy tales, and here. See, boy, animal nature is clay. I will do to you what the Germans did to their wolves, mold you.
That's the dog he gave to the Queen.
Must act.
I cannot make him act. What would you have the king do?
A gesture?
A gesture.
A gesture.
Again.
Is Your Majesty quite all right?
Of course, why wouldn't I be?
It is a prodigious quantity of ice they keep carting around here.
Are you questioning the doctor's methods? Reynolds, I have my own doubts about them, but I have to try.
With respect, Your Majesty is His Majesty. His Majesty can do as he pleases.
Can't take the risk, especially with a woman so unpredictable. Bursting in unannounced on the king. Why, she is almost as mad as I am. A woman like that is too dangerous for a man like me.
Or maybe a perfect match.
What do you think?
I think we cannot know until His Majesty spends more time with her.
Perhaps I could be near her. Ready the carriage, Reynolds. We're going to Buckingham House.
She's not by herself.
Look at her. She's playing chess with herself. She is mad.
I believe she is lonely, Your Majesty.
Imagine that. I've spent my whole life longing for time to myself.
You may miss her husband.
I think I miss her too.
Some token some sign that she is not really alone.
To be with her until I can be.
Precisely.
What hours does the doctor keep in his laboratory?
Does Your Majesty require his attention?
On the contrary.
I was thinking of flowers.
Cannot a king move freely about his own palace? From my cage to hers. I want the Queen to know we will not be caged forever.
Is Your Majesty quite confident in his security? To say nothing of rogues, charlatans, and petty thieves. I arrived at my laboratory this morning to find the cage unlatched and the stupid beast nowhere to be found.
It may be that the beast was not so stupid. Soon enough, an animal tires of its cage. Do you agree, Doctor?
Her Majesty has been spending too much time in the observatory. I worry another fit may be imminent. The Dowager Princess has asked me to convey a message to Your Majesty. I am afraid we have forgotten our objectives. I will have an ice bath prepared immediately and then straight to the chair.
The Queen has received your gesture.
And what did she think of it?
She called it a deformed bunny.
No ice bath. No chair today.
Boy, I command you to stay.
Sorry, Doctor. Today I would rather work on my farm. As I said, drives the plough straight as an arrow.
Hi, Your Majesty. Each creature in the barn can be the stoutest in the field. I could run and fetch a crust of bread or some stew.
I think I shall dine with my wife.
He has realised the error of his ways. His loins love only for Her Majesty.
You would do well to express gratitude. His Majesty is coming to Buckingham House, Brimsley. That is a welcome development.
My apologies.
Accepted.
You can confirm His Majesty's condition has eased?
There is no condition.
We could work together.
You are climbing, Brimsley.
I am not.
He is mine. Stay down.
Kind of like anxiety, something. Wish I had people like that. Not to be like servants, but just have my back.
It's good colour on this wine, Reynolds. Is it alright if I join you for a meal this evening?
A meal?
Where are you going?
I do not know. Just away from you, wherever you are not.
You have no reason to trust me. I marry you and then I disappear into my observatory. Give me just one evening of your time. Allow me to show you where my mind has been. I am coming home to Buckingham House.
Of course. Always fucking crying. Always crying.
Alas.
But such a change could have disastrous consequences for your health.
My health. Doctor, I feel healthier than I have in years. You are breathtaking. You told me to charm her, to make it easier for the crown. I have done my best. You told me I could not let her know me. It's been abundantly clear since my first breath that I was born for the happiness or misery of a great nation. She is gone.
Your mother has departed, Your Majesty. I saw to it myself.
And Charlotte?
Shall I send for the doctor, Your Majesty?
Yes, yes. Get him here.
She will never know of it.
We shall just have days. Careful, Doctor. Remember the giant razor in your hand when you were waving it around like that? Sorry, we cannot better accommodate you. Cannot risk the Queen learning of you.
Since you moved here, you've not been to the chair once. We risk losing everything we have accomplished.
Anything accomplished for me has been the work of my bride. Her methods have done more for me than you and your chair ever could.
You give free rein to your most capricious urges.
So does she. My colic was never just colic. My colic was a disaster. I have lived my entire life in terror of acting incorrectly. Threatened the ruin of England. That terror nearly broke me. I thought that terror was the price of being royal. Now, I have met a woman who is never terrified, commits unthinkable impertinences, and she is the most royal person I have ever known. Excuse me, Doctor. I have a party to attend. You are dismissed. With one evening, one party, we have created more change.
You can do anything, George.
With you by my side, I think I can. Monroe, what are you doing here? You will never treat me again. You are no longer my doctor.
Nevertheless, I remain the Queen's
The Queen's? Stay away from her.
But, Your Majesty, she came to me. But the King's doctor was here and apparently figured that she should not settle for anything less. She is with child. Congratulations, Your Majesty. A joyous day for England.
But why would he be so mean to the doctor, though? She really told him that?
Farmer George.
George?
Venus, my angel, I'm here!
What is this? What is happening?
Reynolds, my carriage!
Your Majesty.
Brimsley, stop following me.
I beg.
Brimsley, stop!
Danbury Ball was a trial.
Has your Highness ever tried cutting English mutton with a dull knife? Knives at Buckingham House used to be sharp enough. Then, one day, they were all dull.
I believe we may have to break fast another morning, Lady Howe.
Surely a coincidence, too, that the very same day the windows were sealed shut. Locks on the armoury, the kitchen, the shed where the gardeners keep their shears. Was when the library set of Shakespeare was suddenly missing King Lear. The one about the mad king, because the king is mad and I live in a mad house. Somehow I was deficient when he...
The king is not mad, utterly exhausted from holding the greatest nation in the world on his shoulders. What could you know about that? The weight on his mother as she watches her son start to crack. You would do anything to stop the cracking. You would scour Europe for a queen grateful enough to aid him.
Rough edges, he was talking to the sky!
And what of it?
Not asked to sit at the helm of the world. I did not even ask for a husband. I must leave my home, my family. It cannot be for a man I do not know. For a lie!
Your insolence truly knows no bounds.
Oh.
Strap me back in.
That is so sad. Well, 10 out of 10. This was a very, very sad episode. I don't even know where to start. I am actually so sad that this whole role of whatever the fuck this is, it's about to be gone. Are you guys ready to see me cry? So I just want you guys to understand, I am drastically upset. I feel like there's such misunderstanding. I hate the way we treat each other. Get ready. So the king was being helped by the doctor. The doctor was doing methods that it was agreed upon that it could be extreme, right? Right. So the king understood that, and then the king so dismissed him because he did not believe, he believed that he was treated well, like he was cured. And obviously he was not. But going through everything he was going through was also like extremely sad to see because he just wanted to feel normal. Mental health is actually a very, very serious condition. Somebody who suffers from ADD and anxiety, I am telling, and panic attacks. I am nowhere near what the king has. It seems like he had an ailment where it dealt with sort of like anxiety and panic. But his just went to doing what he does. You know, it seems like he has a mixture of anxiety. I'm not a doctor. But it seems like he has a mixture of anxiety and panic attacks mixed with personality disorder. If you see, because he starts... Would every personality disorder, would that be like kind of like a schizophrenia? I don't know. Or Tourette's? No, not Tourette's. I don't know. Let's put one of these words together and figure it out. But it seems like it's just a mixture, and I know that you guys commented down below, or some people did, and said it was never really known what he had. But that's what it really was giving me. It seems like obviously something is triggered on him, which deals with anxiety and panic, and then it triggers another mental or a medical issue. I would say mental. I don't think mental. I told you I'm not a doctor. But it seems like it triggers to something else, which gives him another disorder, which it kind of gives me split personalities, because he goes into another type of realm, and he's like King George, Farmer George, and then he like leaves, right? So understanding panic. I can only imagine what the kings and the princes of the world have to, and the presidents and all that stuff, that everything weighs on you, and I can't imagine it. I could never do it. That is something that I want. So damn. But yes, going through that and seeing like what he's going through, and then the doctor's trying to help him. How dare the doctor put a cage on that dog, that beautiful dog. But he did. And then the doctor was being treated like he was garbage. I was like, wait, well, why are you turning on him? And then the queen seems like she doesn't understand. There's a lot of not understanding. She didn't understand that she was going off on the queen. I mean, the princess, because the princess, the mother knew everything, but she didn't want to obviously let the queen know what was going on. And then he overheard, and you could see him start to... This whole episode was just like, because nobody wants to say what the problem is, especially in that time. I can understand, because if the king is known to be insane, then he gets dethroned, and then there goes that. Oh Lord. And I want to, I'm kind of curious, is there a king or prince out there that has like a mental diagnosis that is known for everybody? Thank God I wasn't a king, because I would totally be a mad king. Have you guys seen Game of Thrones? Burn it down! Burn them down! Whatever he says. Yeah, this is a very powerful episode. I would give it a 10 out of 10. And the music was hitting. That was a 10 out of 10. The acting, 10 out of 10. And then honestly bring light on awareness on mental awareness, right? Mental conditions. That's a 10 out of 10. I'm an advocate of, I need to actually go to the doctor because I need to get a physical done. But also like being more aware of people who have anxiety and other disorders. That's a very serious condition. And I think with me, when I get it, I try to drink a lot of water, and I try to just lay down or be around. I don't know. Sometimes being around people also can cure your anxiety, or depending on how bad it is, there's a panic attack, you might want to be alone. I don't know. Depends on the person, but it's a very, very strong episode. Guys, comment down below. Please like the video, share the video, and I'll see you guys next time with more Queen Charlotte.